Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box. Now, we all know the old musical trope about the voice being the original instrument, but nevertheless, the voice and traditional instruments, man-made instruments, have always had a kind of divergence. They've always been different in the way that they're approached from the point of view of the musicians themselves, and they're always thought of as different even among musicians. But Bobby McFerrin was someone who sort of turned that on his head by creating music that embraced the versatility of the human voice and melded it with the kind of complexity that we tend to associate with virtuosic instrumental performances. Once you get into his music, you kind of forget that those two things are different. Those two things just sort of blend in together, and you just realize that what you're witnessing is a master composer, improviser, and a performer who's multi-talented, but whose most famous instrument, his most well-known instrument, is his voice. Now, Bobby McFerrin is a classical operatic musician. He's a jazz musician. He's a fusion musician. He's had success on the pop charts. He's sort of a one-man genre and also a kind of one-man mixture of genres. And his moment in the pop charts came in the late 80s with the song Don't Worry, Be Happy, where he overdubs all of the vocal parts. And with the exception of some hand claps, every sound you hear on that song is made by his voice. But there is a lot more to him than that, way more. I mean, he came to, I think, kind of dislike the song because of its larger than life pop success. But I would really recommend, and I think it's still on your Spotify's and everything else, check out his first album from 1982, simply called Bobby McFerrin. It is one of the best jazz albums of the 80s, one of the best of all time, and he's got a cast of so many interesting characters on that album. Really amazing stuff, as is his follow-up album from 84, The Voice. Just absolutely incredible stuff. It's a mixture of improvisation, composed harmonies, great playing, all sorts of wonderful stuff. I'm referring to sort of both of these albums. The first has instruments, as we normally think of him. The second album is literally all made from different layers of one man's voice, Bobby McFerrin's voice. He also did a wonderful collaboration with Chick Corea. They were very close, and the album Play that they mutually released in 1992 had some of the sort of most loved songs of the sort of jazz canon. It's got Spain, sort of Chick's trademark song, and but with Bobby's wonderful arrangements and vocal stylings. So definitely check that out. He inspired generations of serious musicians to think of the voice in different ways than we've thought about it before. And I mean, reinventing the voice is kind of difficult because it is mankind's sort of first experience with music. But he managed to do it at a time when everyone thought that everything that will be invented has been invented. He was someone that continued and continues to invent in really interesting ways. So if you only know him from Don't Worry, Be Happy, or if you don't know him at all, definitely check out Bobby McFerrin. You will not be disappointed. It is really interesting and compelling stuff. And despite its virtuosity, his music is really accessible too. As always, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.